Welcome on in, everybody, to another episode of Brody Goes At It Alone. This is Same But Different. I am Brody. I am joined by nobody. And this week I decided I was going to watch Disney's Wish, the new Disney movie that just came out. So let's get to it. When you wish upon a... I'm sorry about the camera and how grainy and stupid this is. I've been trying to figure out the lighting down here, but I live in a dungeon, so it hasn't been working out so well. So you just got to deal with, like, the blurs, you know? I'm out of shape. I picked this movie because I thought it'd be really interesting to watch a movie that critics and audiences everywhere are calling garbage. You know, there was a time where Disney movies were good, no matter when, no matter what. And lately, that's just not the case. I don't know what's going on with these Disney movies, but that is just not the case. The world is not as excited as they used to be. A new Pixar movie gets announced, it can come out, and people haven't even heard of it. Crazy. I don't know anybody who watched Elemental. Did you watch Elemental? I did. Maybe we'll watch it one day and you can get a review as to what my really meant. But I watched this one, so you don't have to. Unless you want to, then pause the video now because there are going to be a lot of spoilers ahead. We'll just hop right into it. Straight up, this movie's not as bad as everyone's making it out to be. Okay? Y'all are dramatic. Y'all need to relax. It was just a perfectly average Disney movie. You know? Well, in terms of new Disney, because like I was saying, there's a divide between what was good and now. But I'm gonna say this is not Frozen or Moana level. It's still fine. It's not like I was watching this and thought, when is it gonna end? I'm having such a miserable time. It was fine, you guys. The premise of the movie was cute. Can't say it was original, but like they had an original spin on it, you know, where the king takes your wish and he keeps it safe in his vault of wishes. But when you give him your wish, you forget your wish. So you're just always missing a piece of yourself, and every now and again he grants a wish for the kingdom. It's cool, and the wishes kind of looked like this. They were like, oh, my wish, is it gonna come true? Oh! That's kind of what the wishes looked like. The issue with the premise was the story beats themselves. It was very predictable, you know? Like all the way down to the ending where like the bad guy's winning. Oh no, evil's gonna triumph. Let's all join together and sing because our voices together are stronger than any evil man's magic. Yeah! And so they all sang. What do you want? It's a Disney movie. Been there, done that. But at the same time, it is what it is. That all being said, the movie was littered with heart and a good message and a protagonist who just wanted better for her kingdom. That was pretty cool. I really enjoyed the protagonist of this movie. There was like a Revolution song that was absolutely awesome. Actually, a lot of the songs in this movie fucking slapped. There were some that were like, ugh, end this now, please. But there were some that I was like, okay, oh shit. Contrasting that, the humor in this movie just didn't work. It wasn't inherently a comedy, but you know these movies, they always have a little bit of humor in them. I would say most, if not all, of the jokes fell flat. There were some that gave me a chuckle. Time and time again, I was just reminded that this is a movie for children. Not how Disney movies used to be where they were for the family, children included. Now they're just for kids. This movie was just for kids. The villain, voiced by Chris Pine. If Darik was here, he would say, man, I love Chris Pine. Chris Pine's one of my favorite actors ever. I love him. Yeah, Chris Pine! Darik doesn't like Chris Pine, and I'll never understand it. But the villain was great. My main gripe with the villain is that they told you he was the villain in your first introduction to him. I mean, him and the main character, they sang a beautiful duet together. It was so cool. You were like, oh wow, what a cool and dandy individual. Maybe he's gonna be helpful in this. Nope, he's the villain. Right away it robbed you of that. And I think, again, not to compare this to other movies, but like Frozen, where you at least got a little bit of liking Hans before the twist was that he was bad. This one robbed you of that. You knew his intentions almost from the get-go, and that's a shame. Ja feel? There were dozens of references to the classic Disney films. Some of them worked, some of them didn't. There was Bambi and Thumper. There was Little John. There was Peter Pan. All of her friends were modeled after the dwarves, like from that stupid one, Snow White. It was just kind of cool how they went about it. But then again, some of the old references just didn't work. Like they made Bambi some like bro. He was like some surfer bro, and it just felt weird. I think ultimately that's kind of where this movie falls into, was some of it worked, some of it didn't. And you don't want that. You want at least most of it worked, some of it didn't. And this really was just an even kind of split down the middle. So I think it's only logical that I give this a rating that is right down the middle. And that is going to be 5 wishing stars out of 10. It wasn't bad. 5 is completely middle of the road average for me. I truly think that's what this movie was. If you've been putting off watching it because you've heard it was bad, give it a shot. It's not as bad as people say. And it's short as shit. It's like 85 minutes. Everywhere I looked, everyone was like, this movie sucks. It's the worst thing Disney's ever done. So going in, I'm like, oh, this is going to suck. And I was like, wait, I'm pleasantly medium about this. I was going to say surprised, but I wasn't surprised. I can't say this movie surprised me. And one final thing, there was a secret ending in this that was actually really, really cool. Her grandpa had a wish to leave a lasting impression or legacy to help future generations, you know? He gets his wish back in the end and you're like, well, what? We're not going to get any closure on that? Then the movie ends and you're like, well, that's a pretty big loose end. And then there's a secret ending where you see this 100-year-old man writing "When You Wish Upon a Star." I think that that's pretty clever because that's Disney. That movie is the theme song to Disney, essentially, and that's a legacy for future generations. And I think that that's pretty smart and kind of cool, all right? I was impressed. So that's the one thing in this movie that actually impressed me. And it happened after the movie was done. So that's it. That's my review of Wish. We knew this was going to be a short episode because I don't have Darik. He didn't even watch this movie. He's like, fuck you, Brody. Do it yourself, guy. It was really mean. I could show you the texts, but they don't exist, so I can't. If you watched Wish, please let me know what you thought. I don't know a lot of people who are going out to theaters to see this, so give it 72 hours, and I'm sure it'll be out on Disney+. But it is that time again. Darik will be joining us next week. However, The Hat of Destiny, it's just not fun to do alone. I don't want to pull it out and do the whole song and dance. We each usually put 4 or 5 movies into the hat, this or that. Sick bars, bro! I'm just going to pick this one again, and he's going to have to watch it, and that's just how it's going to go. And I think we should kick off the holiday month with A Christmas Story Christmas. It came out last year. It was on our list of movies to watch last year, but we didn't watch it. This is the sequel to A Christmas Story. It is an actual sequel with all the original kids reprising their roles as adults now. I've been very excited about this movie. I've heard mixed to decent things. That's how we should start this month, and we should get into the spirit and have a holly jolly Xmas. I was going to say we'll see what Darik thinks about that, but he doesn't have a choice. As always, if you liked this video, if you want to see more, if you want to support us and not see more, if you're just feeling generous, like, comment, subscribe. So thank you all for coming over, coming in here, coming out and watching me just chill. You're the best, and I wish you all a great night. Fuck you, Brody. Do it yourself.